Priya Shyam Parameswaran. She is the founder and director of Design Think Collaborative. She has a degree in architecture from the prestigious Sir J.J. College of Architecture, Mumbai, and a master's in building engineering and management, planning and architecture, New Delhi. Born and brought up in Mumbai, the city with its myriad spaces nudged her aspirations to go on to pursue architecture. Today, with more than 2 decades of experience, an urban regenerist at heart, Priya has molded design think into a unique collaborative enterprise of experts. Today, Ms. Priya will speak on stations as a catalyst of urban regeneration. So let's welcome Ms. Priya Shyam.
As Neha updated, I am from Mumbai, born and brought up there. So the city guided me across the entire urban design journey. Over the years, I've been an architect and an urban designer by heart, not an urban designer by profession. So where we experience in urban design comes with all the stations and metro stations we've designed across the years, as well as master planning for a large number of projects. As a station designer, we've done Bangalore Metro Phase 1, Bangalore Metro Phase 2. We were fortunate enough to be in the place wherein there was like the knowledge transfer which happened across from Canadians and the French teams to Bangalore when the first line was there. Further, we've done proof checking for Chennai Metro. Now we're doing proof checking for Bhopal Metro. We've redesigned Yashwantpur and Mysore as a railway station. Now, today the topic where I'm going to delve in is not the nuances of his design, but how we look at urban design as an approach to tackle railway stations and metro stations, and how metro stations and railway stations can be beyond what they are built for. So what I'm going to do in the paucity of time, we're going to try to understand this in just a few concepts. Like, we understand that all of us understand that stations are located in an urban environment. They are located in a context and they cater to a certain demographic of population, which is various demographics. They're sometimes located near historically significant places, stadiums, markets, bus stands, etc. So where we say that this point is because certain stations have an historical context, certain stations have a huge influx of people. For example, if something is related near a stadium, then at particular times of the day, it's going to take a huge influx of people, and other times of the day, it's going to be functioning differently. And the very purpose of a station is to decongest. So, coming to the overall topic, as stations as a catalyst for urban regeneration. Mumbai as a city has seen, if most of your audience is from Mumbai or Delhi or the metros, you would understand that stations being a catalyst of urban generation. When we say that, what we mean here is that whenever there is a station, there is a development around it. Not from only a point of FSI that the government has allowed FSI of 4 around stations, but a fact that you are proximity, staying in proximity, your workplace in proximity to a transit interface, you are at an edge, right? You are as an advantage. So what we feel is that with all these thoughts, our approach is that beyond all this, it should have an imageability. It should be a space of recall value. It should not just be a transit-oriented thing. It has to have an identity of structure of urban elements. It has to have a physical, cultural, and historical layer. It has to interface with its paths, edges, nodes, etc. And it has to have a spatial syntax of movement. Now, if the audience has architects, you would understand that it was Kevin Lynch in 1960. He wrote about it, and we tried to apply it in across these things. So we're just going to talk about 3 of the examples of the projects which we have done. As an urban regeneration, I'm going to talk about Airport South Metro Station. And for an urban intervention, which is already a built station, we're going to talk about Mysore Railway Station and Yashwantpur Railway Station. Now, as an urban regeneration, we want to talk about Airport South Metro Station, where Airport South Metro Station is the first metro station which comes on Nagpur-Wardha Road. So the metro line at Nagpur comes from Wardha Road and enters the city. Now, majority of y'all who are familiar with Maharashtra understand that Nagpur is the 0 mile of India. That's the only place where 2 railway lines cross, and therefore Nagpur is called 0 mile. And fortunately for us, the Wardha Road runs parallel to the railway line as well. So for us, for this metro station, it was very important that this metro station has an image that it is the gateway to Nagpur city. So that's the image which we conceived for the station. Now, where I say today it's important for us to conceive it as an image of a city. What we were given is a small strip of 27 meters of land by 75 meters. It was actually to be done as a box. Where we want to emphasize today is that not all metro stations have to be ugly. Not all railway stations have to be ugly. And they can work beyond their purpose, and they can create a sense of city pride to the people. Now, after about 4 or 5 iterations of design, this was our design. And I will go on to show you how this was built, and proud to say that it was built as much as what you see in the design. So in the paucity of time, I'm going to move a little quickly on to the technicals of it. So these are the technical drawings which we built. So what we see is a station in the left. You can see 2 platforms. But what we convinced Nagpur Metro to do is to build a floor above and to use it for something else. And that's where the entire purpose rechanged. So this is how it was during construction. Proud to say that this is India's first platinum rated green metro station. That's the entrance. That's how it was built. This is the station inside. On the first 5 days itself, we held, so the above first floor, we conceived it as a open auditorium plus a place where exhibitions could be held. In the first 5 days itself, we had like 23,000 people visiting this place and understanding the overall structure of overall metro and other things. This station regenerates rainwater. It has bioconservation. It has natural light using for all its purposes throughout the day. It's the first place where bioregenerators are used. And this is like the cycle initiatives which are there for the last mile connectivity. That's the station as it's built. It generates about 136 kilowatt of power. It's the first green metro station which is built, as seen. And that's the entrance to, that's Wardha Road as you see it. So it's the vantage point at Wardha Road. So see, before we designed it, we had calculated the solar angles, we had calculated all of it, and therefore the roof design was done. It was not an afterthought. So the solar panels are placed directly on the roof with the optimum angle. This is the first station where we integrated the TOM, the SLT, and the station control room into one room, because we didn't want to spend on 3 raised floors, 3 false ceilings, 3 these things. So it was a novelty design within that as well, within the technological point of view as well. Now, this we could do it because we had an experience of another 50 stations. So we could say call shots at to where we could optimize. But having said that, that's where we were. So we're now going to talk about 2 urban interventions which are there, which are very historically significant stations. For Karnataka, Mysore was, when Raja Wadiyar did, it was one of the very historical significant station which came into. So Mysore station this is how we've done it. We'll show you how it was and what we did with it. So it was an exercise between urban design, railway design, conservation, and a mix of whole lot of things. So that's Mysore as a junction. It has about 6 platforms now. They're going to have a secondary with RLDA intervention. I think Nishant would be aware there will be another 7 lines which will come on to Mysore now. So that's the overall station. That's the Lady Ivan Road. This is the main junction, and you could see the entire thing as a Google image the way it was. This is like a car parking lot, and you could see hordes of people and like all sorts of traffic going on around here. So that's how the station was. That's the attraction, the way this was the PRS room. That's like the waiting lounge, the parking area, etc. And that's the corridors. Now, the challenge over here was to do an upgrade with 12 crores of rupees. So 12 crores to people in Mumbai is a flat in Hiranandani. So please understand the scale of what we are trying to do here. So that's where we're trying to do. That's the existing site. We've understood like there is a lack of clarity in movement patterns. There are gray areas in circulation. There is an inadequate definition of pick up and drop. Now, what we're trying to do is not redesign the station. We're trying to redoing the station in such a way that it is more convenient for people to use the existing railway station. That's the station in itself. That's on the day. The other thing which we identified is in the day, the station looks like this, but in the night, because of the way it is lit, it reduces to this. We compared to the best stations in India. We don't want to look at examples outside. In the night when VT is lit, it looks like this. In the night when Chennai is lit, it looks like this. So when taking cue from this, we want stations to look as a whole, right? So these were the three things we added. So the circulation design, the passenger amenities enhancement, and to add a recall value. Those were the three visions we identified for ourselves. Because if we tackled all sorts of goals, we would never meet our end budget of 12 crores. So with reference to the pedestrians, we wanted to give preference to them. We wanted to have minimum conflict between pedestrian and vehicular traffic, segregation of all pickup and drop-off points, segregation of various modes of transport. How do I come to a station? I come in my four-wheeler. There are private car aggregators like Ola and Uber. There are autos and there are two-wheelers. Gone are the days where these were not there. And today, if we don't design for it, the station is a chaos, right? So we wanted to segregate all of them. And I wanted to also look at various use cases that if I come in a car and I have a relative to drop, I make them get down at a point, but I have to go and park. Then where do I meet them? If I come in an Ola there, if I book an Ola when standing at platform 1 and the Ola comes earlier before I reach the station, where does he park? Where does he wait? And if he comes after I reach, where do I wait? These were real use cases which we tackled, and that's the sensitivity in which we designed. So we believe urban design is an indispensable tool in reconciliation of many conflicting forces surrounding transport design. And once we are sensitive to it, I think many problems can be solved. So we looked at NACTO as our design guidelines. We tried looking at segregation of traffic, how different modes are done, how islands are created to aesthetically add value to gray areas, and how slipovers and sidewalks are designed well. So that's the way we did Mysore. What we did is looked at the master plan, and the first thing which we said is we will do a one-way traffic in the station. So people coming in one direction will go all one way. They will all get dropped off and they will get segregated and come back. In that way, that was a very simple and effective way that people start doing insignificant U-turns, and because of which there is a very clear movement of traffic and people are safe. Second thing was to create if you see that if I come by the private car, I come in here, then come back. If I am coming in an Ola and Uber, I come, park here, he comes out here, waiting here, he picks me up, he goes out. If I'm coming in an auto, he drops me here. I wanted the auto to be the nearest point of drop-off and not the cars, because I see that railway stations are more used by people at our parents' age, and people of our age mostly use flights. So what we did is the car drop-offs are all done here, and people are into the car, they can take this entrance. People are in the auto, take this and they're all dropped off here. Then the auto goes into the place where there is an auto pickup. Now, also the auto drop-off was kept here because we have shifted the entire PRS booking system here. Now, people of our age again book over a phone or on the IRCTC online, but parents do definitely get down and come to the station to book. And they were definitely not going to take an Uber to come and book a train ticket. So certain things were done in that sense. So these were the various ways the track was built. We'll show you some imagery which we did. We remodeled the entire station to convince the board. So this is this is the entire station which we redeveloped. This was the platform earlier. This is what we did now to it. We added heritage elements. These grills were looking like a jail. So we designed elements which could add value to the corridor as we move along. We got artists to paint across the places. Now, this was the earlier PRS. That's the way people used to say to book tickets. That's how it's today. It has proper signage. It has visibility in fonts where people with poor vision can see. Red is a color with even colorblind people can see. So what we're trying to tell you here is urban design and railway station design does not end with just putting a few boxes. The colors, the fonts used in Mysore are also can be read by dyslexic people. So that's the level at which it's gone. It's also the first railway station where all the platforms are accessible by the blind. All railings have braille signage. So if a blind person is getting down on a wrong platform, he knows himself. He does not need to be jolted by a normal passenger. That's what we did to the lighting. And we added that place this is a huge selfie point across. Is not only people, the common person as a traversing person who comes, but you see lots of migrant laborers who come to the city with an aspirational value, who come to a new city. And when they arrive at a new place, if that aspirational value is tapped, I think they have a new ray of hope when they reach a place. So that's what we've tried to do here. I will quickly just run through. This is a day shot. This was another victory that after we did this, buses could come and drop people. So after we finished Mysore railway station, there has not been a stampede for Mysore Dasra at the railway station. So that's a big win for us. We have people getting dropped off from nearby villages into the station. Otherwise, hordes of people used to walk from outside and they didn't have a clue as where to they're going. So now buses can come, take a comfortable U-turn and go. Only buses are allowed to take a U-turn. All other modes of transport will do the one-way traffic. That's what we've designed it for. So that's out by Mysore. I'll give you a quick example of Yashwantpur. It's a small video only. So Yashwantpur, what we did was the Tumkur Road part of Yashwantpur. So Yashwantpur is another big junction in Bangalore. So Bangalore has 3 major railway stations, which is City, the Cantonment and Yashwantpur. So it's equivalent to the Mumbai, VT and Dadar. So Yashwantpur is as good as Dadar railway station. So the Tumkur Road side of Yashwantpur railway station was not developed. Everybody used to use a congested side, which we call as a market side. So we'll just show you a small video. This is how the station was. This is the metro connectivity was built, but not done. So this is how the station was. So our idea was to use all of this and recreate a space which transforms. So the first thing was to create a new axis. So that's what we did. I'll just go back and pause here a little. So that's the new axis which we created. And we added, so here the budget was 6 crores. So we use landscape majorly and to create a place which says that we've arrived at Yashwantpur. We put local artists. So now we have a clear segregation of drop-offs. Ramps and staircases at every point were required. So at the end, our achievement is, I could say that you don't have to lift your staircase from the auto point till your first platform number 1. That's where it is. Thank you.